$50 of relief can train your brain to make a $500 mistake later, and that can keep you financially stuck for years. So when an expensive decision feels smart in the moment, is it really a bad decision? Poverty does not only reduce your options, it can retrain your reward system to value speed, certainty, and emotional relief over long-term gain. That is why you can understand the math, hate the outcome, and still reach for the costly option anyway. The real question is not, why am I like this? It is, what has repeated scarcity taught my brain to trust? Welcome to the quiet side of money. No hype, just systems. And here is the part many videos flatten into lazy advice. Poverty does not just make people more short-term. It changes what the brain experiences as safe, urgent, and worth the risk. Dopamine is not just pleasure. It is a learning signal. It helps your brain tag what matters, what pays off, and what deserves action now. If that already explains something you have been judging in yourself, leave a like. Because once money becomes unstable, dopamine does something brutal. It starts rewarding relief more than strategy. That sounds small. It is not. If your life keeps teaching you that waiting is dangerous, then be patient stops sounding wise. It starts sounding naive. A stable environment teaches one lesson: wait, plan, delay gratification, and the reward usually still exists later. An unstable environment teaches another: take the sure thing now, because later is unreliable. That is the first big shift. Under repeated scarcity, your brain does not stop learning. It learns the wrong lesson very efficiently. It learns that a small guaranteed relief can beat a larger delayed reward. It learns that certainty has value. It learns that getting through the week matters more than optimizing the year. And once that lesson hardens, behavior that looks self-sabotaging from the outside can feel completely logical from the inside. Think about a simple choice. Option 1 saves more money overall, but it takes time, planning, and the risk that nothing goes wrong before payday. Option 2 costs more, but it solves the problem in 10 minutes. A stressed brain often picks option 2, not because it loves losing money, because it has been trained to overvalue certainty. That is why people pay fees to access their own paycheck early. That is why a same-day solution can beat a cheaper solution. That is why I know it costs more can live right beside I still did it. The fee is buying more than the service. It is buying the end of uncertainty. And uncertainty is expensive when your nervous system is already tired. This is also why the usual moral story is too simple. People love to say poor decisions come from poor discipline. That explanation is neat, clean, and mostly useless. What usually gets missed is that scarcity changes risk perception itself. When your margin is thin, the safe option can feel risky. Waiting can feel risky. Trying something new can feel risky. Committing money for the long term can feel risky. Even a smart move can feel dangerous if one small disruption could punish you before that smart move has time to work. Now flip the picture. Sometimes scarcity does the opposite. If the slow, careful path still leaves you short, then a gamble starts to feel less crazy. Not good, not wise, but less crazy. That is how a desperate bet becomes emotionally logical. If someone is short $180 by Friday, the boring plan may no longer feel like a plan. It may feel like slow failure. And once the brain starts reading life that way, risk stops being, how likely is this to work? It becomes, what chance do I have left? That is a very different question, and it produces very different decisions. This is why two people can look at the same financial choice and see two completely different levels of danger. One person sees patience, the other sees exposure. One person sees long-term gain, the other sees 4 days of risk with no protection. And that difference is not just knowledge, it is conditioning. A lot of people living under money pressure are not irrational. They are over-adapted to volatility. That is a more honest sentence. It also explains something uncomfortable. Poverty is not only a low-income problem, it is also an unpredictability problem. Two people can both earn $3,000 a month. If one gets paid on the same day every 2 weeks, has stable bills, and faces few shocks, that brain can plan. If the other has changing shifts, family demands, surprise charges, and one account that always feels on edge, that brain gets trained by randomness. And randomness matters. The brain handles hard things better than unstable things. A hard bill can be planned for. A surprise bill turns into a full-body event. A low income is difficult. An income that moves up and down while rent stays fixed is exhausting. And that exhaustion quietly reshapes financial behavior. You stop asking, what builds my future? You start asking, what reduces uncertainty right now? That is why people under pressure often overpay for convenience, overvalue immediate cash, and avoid decisions with delayed benefits. Not because the future means nothing to them, because the present keeps interrupting. And here is a line worth keeping in your head. The opposite of poverty is not luxury. It is predictability. Predictability is what lets the brain think past the next hit. So the problem is not only that scarcity takes money, it teaches the brain to trust fast relief and distrust delayed rewards. But that opens the harder question. If that pattern is learned, how do you unlearn it without pretending life is easy? Here is the turn. The answer is not motivation. The answer is not becoming a tougher person. The answer is building small pockets of certainty so your reward system stops treating every week like an emergency audition. What form of uncertainty drains you most right now? Unstable income, sudden bills, family demands, or your own urge to fix stress fast? Put one in the comments, because this is where the real shift begins. You do not retrain a scarcity-shaped brain by talking to it like a motivational poster. You retrain it by changing what it experiences repeatedly. Start with this principle. Make good decisions feel rewarding sooner. That matters because a delayed reward is weak competition when stress is loud. If the benefit of doing the right thing only shows up 6 months from now, your brain will often discount it. So shorten the distance. Do not just say, I am paying down debt. Track the weekly interest you did not add. Do not just say, I am spending less. Track the fee you avoided. Do not just say, I am building stability. Mark the number of days your account stayed above your personal floor. A scarcity-trained brain needs visible proof now, not a lecture about age 65. This is not childish, it is neurological. Your brain learned through immediate feedback. It usually heals through immediate feedback too. Second, reduce expensive uncertainty, not only expensive products. That is a different lens. And it matters. A lot of bad financial decisions are really attempts to buy certainty. So ask better questions. Which dates keep ambushing you? Which category creates the most last-minute panic? Which payment always lands when your account is weakest? That is where system design matters. Not because systems are cute, because every repeated surprise trains the brain in the wrong direction. If one bill always collides with a low cash week, change the due date if you can. If spending money and bill money live in the same place and keep fighting, separate them. If your decisions get worse at night, stop making money decisions at night. Your 11:20 p.m. brain is many things. A reliable chief investment officer is usually not one of them. The point is not perfect control. The point is fewer moments where panic gets to vote. Third, stop treating all risk as one category. This matters more than people think. There is productive risk and there is survival risk. Productive risk is uncomfortable but bounded. Learning a skill, taking a calculated career step, building small ownership over time, broad, diversified, low-cost, long-horizon investing once your base is stable enough to carry it. Survival risk is different. It threatens rent, food, transport, medication, or next week's ability to function. When people are trapped, they often mix these two together. They become too fearful of productive risk and too tolerant of survival risk. That is the inversion scarcity creates. Someone will delay a useful move for 6 months, then take a brutal short-term deal in 6 minutes. Not because they are inconsistent, because the brain has become overly sensitive to delay and oddly tolerant of crisis. So create one simple rule. No financial decision gets to threaten shelter, food, transport, or your ability to work next week. That rule will not solve everything, but it will stop a surprising amount of damage, and it makes room for the kind of ownership that actually builds a stronger financial life. Because real wealth is not built through exciting rescue moves. It is built through repeated, non-catastrophic decisions. That sounds boring. Good. Boring is underrated. Boring means the decision did not punch a hole through the month. Boring means the future survived the present. Fourth, stop using shame as feedback. Shame is terrible data. It tells you that you are the problem when the more useful question is usually, what pain was I trying to stop? That question changes everything. Maybe the expensive purchase bought relief after a week of fear. Maybe the bad loan bought time. Maybe the delay bought temporary emotional escape. You do not fix those patterns by pretending they were random. You fix them by identifying what the decision was actually doing for you, then finding a cheaper way to get that same function next time. That is the hidden payoff. A lot of bad money behavior is not really about money. It is about pain control. Once you see that, you stop arguing with yourself at the moral level and start redesigning the situation. That is a much stronger place to operate from. So here is a 1-minute ritual that fits this entire video. After any money decision you regret, ask 3 questions. What discomfort was I trying to end? What uncertainty was I trying to remove? What is one cheaper way to buy that same relief next time? That is it. Not 20 questions, not a personality autopsy, just those 3. Because if you keep calling the decision stupid, you learn nothing. If you identify the job the decision was doing, you can replace it. And replacement is how the cage starts to open. Not all at once, not through guilt, not through one heroic month where you suddenly become a flawless adult who meal preps, tracks every receipt, and drinks water with perfect posture. Through repetition, through clearer feedback, through fewer surprises, through rules that protect next week, not just today, through making the future feel real enough to matter again. That is the deeper financial lesson here. Wealth is not only what you own, it is also how far ahead your brain can safely think. If scarcity keeps your mind locked inside the next 48 hours, then even decent income can feel unstable. If predictability stretches your horizon, even modest income can start to behave differently. On Wealth Mentor Pro, that is the version of progress worth respecting, not fake confidence, not flashy language, not one lucky break, a brain that no longer treats every decision like a threat, a life where delayed rewards start feeling believable again, and a financial system strong enough that your nervous system does not have to solve everything by Friday. So, no, many bad financial decisions are not mysterious. They are learned responses to instability, and learned responses can be trained in a new direction. Not instantly, not perfectly, but deliberately. And once the brain stops worshiping relief at any price, long-term thinking stops feeling like fantasy. It starts feeling possible. If you enjoyed this, leave a like. Subscribe for more calm, practical videos like this, and watch the suggested next video.